Good morning, everyone. I'm Joleen Goronkin, past president of CHART and president of People and Performance Strategies. I need 5 volunteers, and I know this group is going to volunteer very quickly. I need 3 women, 2 guys. And you won't have to do much, so just come up on stage and share the stage with me. I need 3 women and 2 guys. We'll just line up right here. We got it? All right. So, all right. Okay. So my session is about increasing your executive presence. And so I thought, well, what better way to be able to teach people a little bit about executive presence than to learn from my mentors? So all these actors, and thank you very much for volunteering, all these actors are going to be my mentors. And the first one, we are going to Tony Quist. Anybody know Tony Quist in the room? Okay, so Tony Quist has been a friend for over 20 years, and she's a past president of CHART, the Chief People Officer of Perkins and Recalendars. And so Tony, I just want to thank you so much for teaching me to be myself and be very self-aware. Because when you try to increase your executive presence, you have to be yourself, but you have to be self-aware. So your lesson, way back when I first got on a senior team, and I got upset during a strat planning meeting, and I remember pounding my fist, and so that night I get back to the hotel, and I call Tony, and she's like, Joleen, did you fall on your head? Why would you do something like that? And so I will say that has stuck with me forever and ever. To this day, I think about how do I show up? How do I make sure that I'm very self-aware? How am I projecting myself to others? But I also want to be authentic and I want to be myself. So that actually is a lesson that you have to continue to learn every day. Okay, so thank you, Tony. Thanks so much. So think before you speak. Alice Elliott. Alice Elliott is the CEO of the Elliott Leadership, was the Elliott Leadership Institute, which I was the CEO. She was the board chair. She runs a recruiting firm. So Alice Elliott taught me to think before I speak. And I'm like, I was always this person that, oh, I know the answer, I'm just going to let everybody know. And she's like, wait, be thoughtful. Think about it before you go into this knowing exactly what I'm going to say or what our clients are going to say. Think, be thoughtful. Stop, pause, silence is okay. And I really learned that from her. I learned many, many different things from her, but I learned that, and I thank you, Alice. All right, Sally Smith. Sally Smith, anybody know Sally Smith in the room? Okay, so she's an amazing woman, leader, and mentor for me. So I was with Buffalo Wild Wings for quite a few years. She helped me grow and develop. And to think that this is probably the biggest lesson that I've learned from her, but so many other lessons. And it's about dressing the part. And it's not about always being in a suit or in high heels or acting like you shouldn't, you're not really there. It's about being yourself, but acting and being that part. So what she said to me was, you dress the part of that next level. So what is that? What are you reaching for? And how can you make sure to show up like that next person? So I looked at her and I'm like, I want to be her someday. I want to be a CEO or a president. So how can I learn from that? And she really taught me the big thing is to dress and act the part, be composed, and really make sure that you're portraying what you want people to know about you. So thank you, Sally. Okay, so Carlton Curtis, many of you probably don't know him, or maybe a few remember him. Carlton Curtis was a big deal at Coke, and he was on my board at the Elliott Leadership Institute. And so Carlton, thank you for all the lessons that you taught me about being an executive and having good executive presence. I guess the big one that I think about from you is when I took on that role, I was like, I don't know what I don't know. And he said, you have to have a personal board of directors, Joleen, and you need to make sure that you change it out, because yesterday you needed different people, today you need somebody else. So what got me here is not going to get me there. So he taught me to make sure to surround myself with really smart people, and that might change over time, but ultimately to be grateful for all of the mentors and all of the support and feedback that I've received. So thank you, Carlton. All right, last but not least, Herb Goronkin, my father-in-law. And he was a great man. And he taught me so much about intellectual and emotional intelligence and being curious, making sure that you're always striving for something that some way to be better than you were yesterday. And so he learned Japanese because he felt like it. And he taught himself. So he was a PhD, so super smart. But he always was learning till the day he passed. He was always learning and helping people. So intellectually, emotionally, making sure that you make that leap, and you are all lifelong learners because that's why you're here at Chart. So I want to thank Herb, and I want to thank all of you for being here today.